getting us underway in the 2014 Sochi Winter Paralympics is Henrietta Farkašová of Slovakia. Now her guide is Natalia Subtova, and she has to stay at least one gate in front of her athlete. If she goes more than one gate in front, then the pair will be disqualified. Now, you see there the calculated time. That is because each class has a percentage to allow athletes to compete in the same class. Now, there's a results calculation system based on a mathematical formula which was instigated by the athletes, I have to say, which gives each class a factor which is applied to real time, which gives the calculated time. You can hear the two athletes talking to each other. You get to look at this course from top to bottom over what was the late jump. Farkašová does well, 113.5 on the speed clock. That's 70 miles an hour. Farkašová is travelling down the mountain, has the best of the conditions, and the shout from her guide, tucked towards the bottom, and Farkašová sets a time of 1:31.55. That is the time to beat. Embraces at the bottom. Congratulations to her. They were more than 5 seconds faster than any of the others in this category in training. And she's publicly stated that she's looking to take home 5 gold medals here. Wow. Danelle Umstead, guided by her husband Robert, is next on course from the United States of America. And Umstead third in the downhill in Vancouver. And her husband were the first husband and wife team to represent the USA back in 2010, and you can see Rob wears a very bright top, and perhaps just a little bit too far in front of Danelle, who's struggling a little bit. We're picking them up just by the late jump. Now the gap between the two here looks much better. The time 1:31.55 is set by Farkašová, with Umstead 5.15 seconds outside. Well, that goes with what we've seen in training, and we go back to the top now. It's Alexandra Frantceva and Pavel Zabotin of Russia in the B2 category underway. And Frantceva doing a really good job, just 0.47 off the pace here. Frantceva being cheered on by the local crowd. Zabotin has a little check over the shoulder to make sure that Frantceva is in close proximity. Constant chat all the way down. Lovely turn over the terrain change from Frantceva. Zabotin standing up to just slow himself down, but Frantceva's lost a bit of time in between intermediate 1 and intermediate 2s now, a couple of seconds off the pace. Speed nowhere near as fast as Farkašová, who was 113 kilometres. Frantceva just 98.6. And she goes second, 4.23 seconds off the pace. And stops into the crash barrier, but she'll be okay. Now back up to the top, and Great Britain's Jade Etherington and her guy Caroline Powell out of the start hut in the B2 category. first Paralympics for Etherington. She was third at the World Championships in Super G and third in the first training run here. How's she going as we pick her up further down the track? Nice and close to her guide as they go over the late jump, 1:13.11, and she's a couple of seconds off the place of Farkašová. Etherington just getting bumped around a little bit by the ruts and bumps on the flat section. Coming into the final pitch now. Farkašová time 1:31.55. That's not going to be beaten, but where's Etherington going to finish? Second, 2.33 off the pace, and she too crashes in to the barriers on that right hand side. Now, is she okay? She's going to receive some help. Now, another British skier, Kelly Gallagher, with her guide, Charlotte Evans, in the B3 category, the same class, as Farkašová. The only two B3s in the race. And now we get the time. 1:13.11 was Farkašová's first split time that we're going to pick up. And Gallagher some way off the pace, that red line there. 3.95, 108 kilometers per hour, 67 miles per hour. And Farkašová, well, we'll know she's won a medal if Gallagher can't get inside her time, and she hasn't got inside her time. And Gallagher fifth for the time being. So, as it stands, with one to come, Farkašová and Etherington are guaranteed medals. Gallagher is fifth, and she's just over 7/10 off the pace of Danelle Umstead, who is in fourth currently. So Alexandra Frantceva is on the cut-off point with Melissa Perrin of Australia, the last skier to go. There is the Australian. Her guide is Andrew Bohr, competing in the B2 category. Just waiting for the timing one to be placed across the gate and the nod from the starter. There it is. First Australian female Alpine skier to win a medal at the World Championships when she was second in the downhill. And she's just being held. Now, won a World Cup race in Panorama back in November, with the World Cup being a little bit truncated because of various teams' preparations. Not all the teams competing in the World Cup. Fifth in Vancouver. What can she do here? So athletes can go 5 seconds before or after the countdown finishes. Really steep start, and you can hear Andrew Bohr talking to Perrin all the way down here. Now into the flatter gliding section, just that little roller there causing some problems for the athletes. Now they can get into the gliding section, try and let the skis run as they snake their way across the piste. Perrin runs a little wide there on that left-footed turn, better through the right footer there. And then hard on the left ski as they come up and over Bear's Brow, which was the first of the jumps. Farkašová split 1:13.11. And Perrin outside that, but by how much? She's really travelling down there. 1:16.11. She's 3 seconds or so, and then runs wide in the line. I'm not sure Farkašova's going to be beaten here. She looks like she's going to take gold. Now, can she get inside Frantceva's time of 1:35.78? No, she can't. She's just outside the medals. She goes fourth. 4/10 outside the bronze medal spot. A disappointment for Perrin. She's one better off than she was in Vancouver, but it's a disappointing place to finish for any athlete, fourth at a Paralympic Games. And so the first medalists in the Alpine discipline have been decided. And in the visually impaired category, Henrietta Farkašová of Slovakia takes the gold medal from Jade Etherington of Great Britain, who wins silver. And Alexandra Frantceva of Russia wins the host nation's first medals up at the Rosa Kuta with bronze in the visually impaired category. And we have a couple of minutes break before we head up onto the next class, which will be the standing category. As we look over across the valley, you can see what a beautiful day it is up in the mountains and how the warm weather has affected the snow. So confirmation of the results in the visually impaired category. Farkašová takes gold, Etherington the silver, Frantceva the bronze, Perrin, Umstead and Gallagher round off the standings.